Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is the first video of our new series, which is bug bounty and other vulnerabilities details. In this series I will explain a bunch of vulnerabilities here, and I will give you a bunch of tips and other tools to bypass 403 forbidden and other things. So in this video I will show you how the internet works, how the browser and how the browser and search engine works, and also I will tell you what are the different methods like get, post, trace and other methods. So as you can see that I already wrote a bunch of things here, so let me read it. This is the content for this video. I'll show you. Let me start reading. The internet is a bunch of systems that are connected and sending messages to each other. This is an example that I took to send message to each other. Some only accept certain type of messages, some only allow messages for a limited set of other systems. Okay, but every system on the internet receives an address so that people can send messages to it. It's then up to each system to determine what to do with the messages and how it wants to respond. To define the structure of these messages, people have documented how some of these systems should communicate in request for comment RFC. Request for comments is, as an example, take a look at HTTP. HTTP defines protocol of how internet browser communicates. In this first paragraph, this one, I will show you how the internet works. Here I will show you what are the requests and responses, and in down below I will show you what are the different methods like head, get and other methods. So where we are, yes, because of internet browser and web server agree to implement the same protocol, they are able to communicate. When you enter http www.google.com in your browser and press return and press enter or go, the following steps describe the following what happens on high level. Your browser extract the domain name from the URL. What I mean from this is, when you search google.com on your device, on your browser, on your Chrome or on your Firefox, your browser will extract the matching results. Okay, then your computer sends a DNS request to your computer's configured DNS server. DNS can help resolve a domain name to an IP address. In this case it resolves to 216.58.201.228, something like that. Now you can use dig a www.google.com on your terminal to look up IP addresses for a domain. You can do that. I will mention this. I will give this PDF into the description. When you click on the link given in the description, you will be directed to my website where you can get this PDF. Okay. Now, when your browser will send an HTTP when you click on google.com or the website, then your browser will send an HTTP request like this one. If you are an intermediate or beginner to the bug bounty or something like that, then you will know that what a request looks like and what a response look like. Okay, now your browser will wait for response from the server, which looks like something like that. Okay, we all know that how the response and request looks like. Now your browser will face and render the return HTML CSS. In this case, the home page of Google will be shown on your screen. So the actual work of your browser is to just extract your browser's work is to render the return the HTML, CSS and JavaScript. In this case, you will see the UI of google.com on your screen. Now, when detailing specifically with the browser, the internet and HTML as mentioned previously, there is an agreement on how this message will be sent, including the specific methods used in the requirement a host header for all HTTP requests. As noted above the bullet 4, the method defined include get, head, post, put, delete, trace, connect and options. As I said, I will just tell you about a bunch of different headers or methods. Now let's get into the first one, the get method. The get method means to retrieve whatever information is identified by the request uniform request identifier, which we known as URI. The term URI may be confusing, especially given in the reference to a URL above, but essentially for the purpose of this video, just know that a URI is like a person's address and is a type of URI which is like a person's name. While there is no HTTP policy, typically GET requests should not be associated with any data altering functions. So here you can say that the GET request is only used for retrieving and providing data. Now let's move to the another one. The head method is identical to the GET message, except the server must not return a message body in the response. Typically you won't often see this used, but apparently it is often employed for the testing hypertext links for validity, accessibility, and recent changes. Okay, this is very simple. You can understand head method. Now let's get into the post method. The post method is used to invoke some functions to be performed by the server. It's determined by the server. In other words, typically there will be some of the back-end action performed, like creating a command, registering a user, deleting an account, etc. This action performed by the server in response to the post can vary and doesn't have to result in action being taken. For example, if an error occurs processing the request, the put method is used to invoking some functions but referring to an already existing entity. So what is post method exactly? Let me tell you in a simplified version. The post method is used to change something, like you are just updating a password, then the request will be something like post http/1.1 and something like that. And if you are just making any change into your ID or something like that, then the post is used. Now let's get into the put method. Here is the put method is used when invoking some functions but referring to an already existing entity. For example, when you are updating your account, updating a blog post, etc. Again, the action performed can vary, may result in the server taking no action at all. It is very simple. You can understand what is right, what is want to say. Then the delete method. The delete method is just as it sounds, is used to invoke a request for the remote server to delete a resource. You can see that delete method is used to delete something from the server identified by the URI. Now the trace method. The trace method is another uncommon method, this time used to reflect back to the request change to the requester. This allows the requester to see what is being received by the server and to use the information for testing and diagnostic information. This is very simple. You can just understand what it want to say. But actually, when you are doing bug bounty or finding vulnerabilities, then you only have to understand the get and post properly. You have to understand the other ones, but you have to just understand properly how the get and post works. We will see in the upcoming videos how it works and how to find a bunch of vulnerabilities. Now the connect method is the connect method. The connect method is a reverse actually reversed to use for with a proxy. A proxy is basically a server which forwards requests to other servers. We all know what is proxy. We use that burp interceptor and other things. Now the next one, the option method. The option method is used for a request information from a server about the communication options available. For example, calling for option may indicate that the server accept get, post, put, delete and other calls, but not head or trace. Now we are ready to dive into the bug bounty and other things. As we all know, now we have cleared how the other different types of get and different types of request works, and now we all know how the browser, search engine and other things works. Now in the upcoming video I will tell about how to find URL redirection in a website. I will give some tips on it. So this is for the video. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel.